I'm standing here because Alex likes to challenge conference organizers. And you can imagine why. Because he has a very difficult name to pronounce. And he wanted me to say his name, actually. But I took that challenge and I thought it was quite easy to do. So it's Alexander Chatzizacharias.
Yeah, perfect.
The most important thing is actually like to remember it, right? So
Yeah.
Chatzizacharias was a challenge, and that's why he's here, of course. No, he has always very nice, entertaining presentations, and I love it, actually. So
Oh my God.
enjoy shooting code.
Well, I hope I won't disappoint now. Yeah, so perfectly said, my name is Alexander Chatzizacharias. I have a couple hobbies. I like bouldering. I have a way too expensive Magic the Gathering collection. And Zurich really shot into one of my favorite places to be because you have a shop that sells Magic cards in the central railway station, which is amazing. I mean, do I have a Black Lotus? No. Not that expensive yet. And I also play a lot of video games. Any other people that like to play video games here? Oh my God, okay, you guys are in the correct talk. I work for a small consultancy in the Netherlands called JDriven, where we're like 25, 30 GVM nuts. And I like to do offbeat experiments and stuff like that and show people about what I did. So that's what we're doing today. So a little bit of an origin story of how this came to happen. Roughly 1.5 years ago, I was thinking about, I like to make games in my spare time, you know, fool around, you know, see what's possible there. And roughly 1.5 years ago, Unity 3D, anybody heard of Unity 3D? It's a game engine. They decided to go full enshittification mode, completely wreck their engine, and then I was like, you had to pay per install, whatever, and I was like, okay, maybe I should move to something else, and then, okay, what do I do? Do I do Unreal? Do I do Godot? What's the play here? And eventually decided, I mean, I'm a backend engineer, and I use IntelliJ every single day, so why not just use IntelliJ as a game engine to make games in? And then I saw a talk from Trisha G and Holly Cummins in the UK. And they said, productivity is messing around and having fun. And if you need to be messing around and having fun, well, to be productive, that means that indeed, to truly have an integrated development environment, you need a development environment where you can have fun in and, you know, mess around, play, and things like that. So I decided, you know, just give it a spin. How hard can it be to turn IntelliJ into a game engine, right? Of course, when you start with projects like that, you set some rules for yourself. You don't want to make it too easy, so to say. First and foremost, no GCEF. Anybody heard of GCEF here? Oh, so it's the Java Chromium embedded framework. IntelliJ, the IntelliJ plugin system supports this. And basically what this means is you can load any HTML JavaScript into a window in IntelliJ, and it will render it for you, which is pretty great, of course. Makes development of nice UIs quite easy, but it would be a little bit of cheating, right? Just using JavaScript, HTML stuff to make the games. How does this look like? This is basically what a GCEF window looks like. You can just load in any website or whatever. Do you, anybody that knows Wordle? So let's see. Does anybody know what the word is today? Hey! Oh, well, this is the first time this happened. Okay, well, I guess I'm a little bit of a Wordle expert at this point. So, but that would be cheating, right? You can just load in any JavaScript, whatever, and you have a game. We don't do that. We are programmers in the end, and we like to make our own life as difficult as possible. So that's what I'm doing here as well. Of course, being a gamer, performance is a must. No 30 or 60 frames per second, you know, crisp 120 or more frames per second. keep the performance as high as possible. We won't be using any game libraries like lightweight Java game library. Anybody that ever played with the lightweight Java library? One. It's pretty good. That's what Minecraft was originally built in. So you know, it can it does the job. And eventually, the whole idea is, I mean, we have like this GitHub, GitLab repositories full of code. What if you could use all the code that's out there as assets for your games? Easy money, you would say. All right. So our stack is pretty simple. Everything is written in Kotlin. Any other Kotlin enthusiasts here? Great. Yeah. I mean, this is the moment where we start to burn bridges. Kotlin is the best language in the GVM. I changed my mind. I'm using the IntelliJ plugin platform for pretty much everything. And who here knew that IntelliJ was written in Java Swing? A couple people. Well, maybe a better question first. Who here uses IntelliJ? Anybody from JetBrains sitting here by any chance? Okay, so this is what complete monopoly looks like, right? But yeah, so it's written in Java Swing. For the ones that work with Java Swing, you might know that it's not necessarily very easy to work with. Coming from a game engine like Unity 3D, it was definitely not easy to work with. It was a very fun experience. Let's keep it at that. But yeah, so it was built like 25 years ago using Java Swing, and they still use Java Swing, which is quite the achievement in my book. All right, so before we get started showing stuff, a little bit of question for you all. Which game launched the video game industry roughly 60 years ago? Whoa, a lot of, I did hear it though. Pong. So Pong was the first game that really launched onto arcade consoles and people could buy, and it really is has shown to be the start of the video game industry, which is a multi-billion industry right now. So this is a simple dummy project, and here we can play Pong. Oh my God, I'm so bad at this game though. So when you play Pong, you'll realize that one side has quite the advantage over the other side. There we go. See? Yay. And there it goes back. So yeah, one side has a lot of code. Oh my God. And the other side has not a lot of code. So it definitely is, for one side, is easier than the other one. But yeah, as you can see, we can render things. We can have a ball go left or right. We have some pseudo physics. So this is definitely not actual accurate physics. And a very good piece of feedback I've gotten that I still need to make is actually that comments should not be physically physics enabled, because of course they are comments. Oh, there we go. So yeah, and then like this you have Pong. And good thing is, of course, you write everything on the editor. That means you actually save your state in text, which is pretty cool. And this is all done by basically I started by copying a lot of utility classes that you had in Unity, like the vector3 class or collision checks classes and stuff like that. I ported them over to Kotlin and then started playing around drawing well, the balls and the widgets and everything, and eventually you get something like this, which was a pretty fun start proof of concept, right? So okay, we've proven we have some basic physics, we have some things on that we can show, we have sprites, we have graphics, so now let's start making actual games, so to say. Now, when you make games like that, you kind of have to have a theme, you know, you have to have a thread that you need to follow. And I chose the cardinal sins of backend development. So who here is a backend developer? Almost everybody, okay. Can somebody shout what a sin would be for backend developers? Any idea? What makes you really angry if you see it in a pull request? Sorry? Just shout it, it's okay. TSS. Maybe. So we'll start with space invaders, which I like to call state invaders, because of course, as backend developers, we do not like state, right? We'd love our state to be in the database and not in our service itself, right? Right? So I figured, can we make something around state? And that is the idea of how state invaders came to be. I think I should just show it first. So time to abolish the state. So now we're collecting all the mutable variables in our application. As you can see, we can have nice ASCII menus. And don't worry, I tucked the code down so you don't lose what you were working on. And then we can press start. And oh, we even have cutscenes. War was beginning. What happened? I think some people immediately got the reference what was here. Who knows it? Louder? Yeah, or all base are belong to us. That's the one. Good old internet, right? When memes were good. So yeah, how are you, gentlemen? All your state or belong to us. Your way in Buckstruction, what you say. And underwater, what's happening is we're collecting all mutable variables that are in the code base. We're doing some processing, and as you can see, the mutable variables become the aliens, which you can kill. I'm also very bad at this game, so I turned off damage. So a good thing if you're the developer of a game, right? And as you can see, chance of production crashing is at the moment 51%, and it goes down every time you kill a mutable variable. And this is 100% AI-powered calculation that happens underwater. Promise. And then, of course, if we kill them all, there we go. Chance of production crashing right now is 0%, because you just got rid of all your mutable variables. Now you'd say that's nice and all, but of course what we do underwater is we go through the code and then we delete every single mutable variable that we just destroyed. Because it's all fun and games if you can just shoot them and cosmetic, but they actually really need to leave the code base. Does this still compile? Probably not, but that is a worry for future us, as I like to say. So yeah, so the IntelliJ, the plugin platform, has something called the PSI tree, the program project structure interface, and it's like a tree of all classes and the methods in the class and what they're calling and how they're structured together. And basically, we just look through that tree. We collect everything that is a variable without the final keyword in front of it, right? And then those are the aliens. So yeah, so if you watch this and you thought, okay, I have this problem with IntelliJ, maybe I should make a plugin with it. If I can do this, then you can make the plugin you need for your IntelliJ, for your team. All right. So let's continue. So Space Invaders came around late 1970s, the beginning of 1980s, I believe. After that, there came a game that really made one company a lot of money, and it was considered the first system seller, so to say. The first game where people were buying the console just to play the game. Anybody got an idea? Pac-Man. Or as I like to say, Pac-Man with a K. That is not how you normally write Pac-Man. because another sin of backend developers, and well, to be fair, in front-end land, this is much worse than in backend land, but it still happens with Docker images and stuff like that, is over-reliance on packages. Just pulling things, you don't really know what you're pulling into your project. You don't really care, to be fair, what you're pulling in your project, as long as it works and it makes your life easier, right? So I made a little game around that. Here we go. Ah, the sound isn't working. Now the Pac-Man sound is playing now. Okay. So I'll use my own speakers and hopefully you get to hear something out of the sound. So if I tap start, here we have the Pac-Man maze. And the maze is built from the letters of the packages you've imported in your Gradle file or Maven file, whatever. And the ghosts, they're not just the Pac-Man ghosts, they're the ghosts of your past self. Because every ghost represents a commit where packages were included in the project, with a commit message why they were included. For added logging framework for improved security, log4j. We've got to do something with AI, langchain for J, JSON because I hate Jackson, and stuff like that. And then you can walk around. And who knows the sound that Pac-Man makes? Waka, 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 waka. Well, I hope you'll hear it. Java, 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 Java. I guess I'll do some some voice acting while we're at it. Anybody that can hear it, got any clue who this is? So that is our own superstar, Venkat. It was really easy to find a sound clip of him saying Java, I'll be honest. Now, for the most tricky part, finding a ghost I can eat, because when I made this, the ghosts are distributed randomly through the maze, and of course I do something when I eat a ghost, but then I didn't think about the possibility of them being distributed so far in the maze that I wouldn't get to them. Because I'm getting like this dreaded feeling right now that I'm moving further away from them. Yeah, it does look like I'm going further away from them than closer, huh? Oh, there we are. Yeah, rip. Well, obviously, what's going to happen if you were to eat one of the ghosts is that I go to the line where the package is added, and I remove the line. So I completely remove the package from your Gradle file or your Maven POM or your JetBrains build file, in case anybody for some reason uses that. And as you can see here, the maze is actually built from the letters of the packages. That means the more packages you have, the more hardcore the maze is going to be. So that is what we call in game land, we call that scaling difficulty. Yeah, as you can see, the file is a little bit skewed right now. All right, we're back. Yeah, so we've seen that we can do things with stateful variables, we can see with packages. Before we continue, I've like this thing, every time I give a presentation, I kind of need to show an explosion. I'm sorry, a little bit immature, but you know, explosions just bring me joy, I guess. So this is a good time to do it, I think. And you can, and I love how IntelliJ tries to compile stuff still. Did you mean this by any chance? No, I'm pretty sure I didn't. So yeah, it has explosion sounds, which you unfortunately can't hear. So yeah, now you can actually say, if you have like this really irritated piece of code, buggy code, you could just blow it up, push a pull request, and have your colleagues figure it out. There we go. All right. So yeah, if you ever have the feel to just blow up your code, now it's possible. Okay, let's continue for a bit. I think we're going to do a time jump of 10 to 15 years. There was a game that also became very popular. Anybody that wants to take any guesses? Ooh, that I was thinking about Super Mario, but Nintendo is quite, let's say, predatory when it comes to copyright issues. So I thought, but you're very close. Doom? Not yet. Ooh, spoiler alert. Sorry? Wolfenstein 3D? Not that bloody. How about Sonic? Who knows Sonic? Who loves Sonic? What, that headshot? No, thanks. I'd like to call it Sonic the test dog. Because, of course, well, we all love testing, right? That silence is deafening. So yeah, testing is always such a heated debate when it comes to backend development, right? Some people say you're doing too much, other people saying you're not doing enough. The balance is very tricky to find, so I figured I should do something with testing. All right, so let's go here. Gotta go fast. And we need to type "we love Scrum" to start. All right, and now so this little blue fella is Sonic, not to be confused with Sonic, by the way, if anybody from Sega is sitting here. And this is the bad guy, Dr. Velocitnik, which says that he has stolen all our unit tests and scattered out through our code base, which is very sad. Of course, we need our unit tests, otherwise how are we going to ever deliver on time at the end of the sprint? Things like that. Are all estimations going to be off? How are we going to put user story points, etc., etc., etc.? I'll be honest, I haven't done Scrum for two years now. I don't really know what's default anymore. Yeah, so we have a little bit of a nice opening cinematic here, and things are loading in the background, and soon enough, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, there we go, perfect. We have Sonic, and we can play around, and we can grab coins, and then we can move down. Now, when I had this idea, I was like, okay, this is it. This is amazing. This is what I have to do. And then I made it, and then I had this realization that if you play a Sonic game, you typically want to run fast from left to right, right? That is basically what Sonic is. And then I realized, yeah, code doesn't necessarily go from left to right. It's not very horizontal. It's more vertical, so to say. So it's, let's say, a vertical version of Sonic. And then you can grab coins. And each coin represents a unit test. So I scan through the code base, I find the unit test, I create coins for every single unit test, and then, of course, if you hit one, oh no, you lose your coins. And anybody can guess what happens then? I think some people guessed correctly. And then we can go here. I'm also really bad at this game. For some reason, I'm bad at all the games I make. Have to wait for him to walk. Okay, faster, thank you. And then jump. Oh my God. Okay. Jump. And then we are in main Java. So you can, through the whole platforming game, you can go through invocations and go from method invocations and just crawl through your whole code base, searching for Dr. Velocitnik to defeat him once and for all. And then, of course, I'm too lazy to do that here, so I have a shortcut. So he was hiding in car.java, and as you can see, he's going down and he's shooting his beams, and it's like oh, it's going very fast. Where is he? And he's a real end boss, as you would say. And of course, he has a weak point. Anybody can guess what his weak point might be? Come on, the gamers here should know this, right? The head, and there we go. And like that, we've defeated a big evil boss, and our code base is free of any problems or whatever story you want to create. And of course, if you look at your diff, you can see that all the unit tests that we lost were deleted out of your code base. So really funny. I've shown this before, and some people actually said, "Okay, but now you should just commit force push." So if people cannot protect their unit tests well enough during the game, they don't deserve them. It's like, oh, okay. Didn't know we were this hardcore as backend developers. All right. Before we continue, I have a question. Who here believes they are pretty good blind typers, so they can type without looking at the keyboard? Yeah, I mean, if you're a programmer at some point, you get to. Who here thinks they're a pretty fast typer, for example? Okay. Remember, you put your hand up. Because we're going to go further for a couple of years. Who here has played Guitar Hero? Yeah, amazing game, right? With a plastic guitar. My mom hated me when I was a teenager strumming that guitar. So I figured, if Guitar Hero is a thing, I should try to make Code Hero. Because what is another cardinal sin of a backend developer, or to be fair, of any developer nowadays, it is just blindly copy-pasting things without having any idea what you just pasted, right? We used to do it from Stack Overflow. I remember seeing like the comments with the Stack Overflow link above it. I was like, okay, but what does this do? Yeah, you can visit the link. Okay, thanks. But now with LLMs and coding assistants, it's becoming a little bit more, prevalent, so to say. Even though it has an official name nowadays, it's called vibe coding, from what I understood. Which is kind of weird. What we're going to do is we're going to play... who recognizes this? This is Osu. Yeah, so Osu is an open source rhythm game. You can just download it and play it. And it's pretty much crowd-sourced, so to say. So people make the beat maps for this game where you have to tap the circles on the beat of the music as they are closing in. And there are a lot of beat maps out there, and this is a little bit how it looks when people are good at the game, which I'm not. But the good thing about this is that everything is open source, even the beat maps. So let me see. This is how a bitmap for Osu looks like. Spoiler alert. Okay, there we go. So this is a bitmap for Osu. So basically some general information, and then these are the hit objects. So they are basically on millisecond accuracy. You have to show something on screen. So that is pretty much what we're gonna do. Where we are here. Let's go to main. Oh, here we go. All right. So go here. And then if you copy and then you try to paste something, it's going to be like, hey, paste action detected. That's not allowed. Time to prove that you're a real code rock star. Can hear it a little bit, I hope. And now you have to type what you wanted to paste on the beat of the music. Damn it. No. I failed. So I knew that this line was exactly enough, but I have to nail it. So yeah, if you actually finish it, it's going to be copy-pasted. If you don't, that means you're not good enough, so you're not getting the code you try to paste, right? It's only fair. But yeah, of course, that is if you do a small amount, you know, there's like, okay, you can do an easy song for here for this, but if you do a little bit more, any metal heads here, perchance? Any people that really hate metal music by any chance? Okay, good, because I'm a huge metalhead myself, so only metal from now on. Okay, so another paste action detected. And again, prove you're a real code rockstar. We pasted a medium amount of text, so we're getting a medium song, so not too hard, not too easy. Okay, so you get the idea, right? Now, the people that know Guitar Hero, they know, of course, if you do a lot of text, that means it's going to be a very hard song, right? The people that play Guitar Hero, do you know which song that could be? Through the Fire and the Flames by Dragonthunders, yes. So any of the people that raised their hand here earlier want to come and give it a try? Going once? Going twice? Do you really want me to see do it again? Okay, so again, let's say we code hero and paste action detected again. A significant amount of text, good luck. So the good thing about this, it has a very long intro. So you can prepare yourself mentally for what's about to come, pretty much. All right. Yeah. Right. Before I break my keyboard. Yeah, so, and with that, we came through pretty much all the games I had to show you. I think I've shown that, you know, there's quite some possibilities here for JetBrains to maybe expand to instead of just IDEs, you know, just make IntelliJ game engine, I don't know. But of course I have some feature requests for them. I worked on this for quite some time. Who here knows the feedback sandwich? Who is heard of the feedback sandwich? You know, so you whenever you want to give feedback about something, you start with something nice, then you can give the feedback, and then you end up with something nice, right? So on totally unrelated note, JetBrains is an amazing company. They make amazing IDEs, and I couldn't do my job without IntelliJ. But would be nice if they added official MP3 or WAV support for the for their IDE, because now I have to use resource loading and Java classes and stuff like that, and while it works, it can be a bit buggy. So when IntelliJ just decides, okay, I'm not gonna reserve any memory for your sound player right now, so you won't hear anything and things like that, so that's a bit of a shame. They deprecated PNG support, and I was like, what? Just de-deprecate it, please, because if I show sprites and stuff like that, I really need PNGs. For example, when you look at Sonic, sorry, ooh, almost went to jail there. I use so-called sprite sheets, and this basically one transparent image with, in this case, 16 by 16 sprites, which makes it much cheaper to load in the animations, because you basically only need to load one image, and then you scan the image every 16 by 16 pixels, and then you get that frame, and then you have your animations. Which doesn't work if you don't support PNGs. They only support SFGs because icons or whatever, kind of lame. And while we're at it, just add GIF support as well. I mean, it's 2025. I'm pretty sure all of you who use Slack or Microsoft Teams pretty much exclusively communicate by GIFs with your peers, right? Slash Giphy. So yeah, I mean, come on, JetBrains, what are you doing? So this one is a really pet peeve of me. They have like this API. It's called GB Color. GB stands for JetBrains, which is a wrapper around the color class of Java Swing. But what's kind of frustrating is, let's see, GB color in project. So if we go here and we have GB color.red, let's say you have a nice red color, but then you want, so this is the red color that JetBrains tells, okay, this is according to the brand guide. But then you want, let's say, a little bit of a brighter red color, then you go brighter. And you're like, okay, nice. But then let's say you want a little bit of a brighter color, you have to go brighter. And then let's say you want a little bit of a brighter color, you need to go brighter and brighter. And it's exactly the same if you want a darker red than what they have in the style guide. You have to go like darker, darker, darker. And I don't know, I feel in 2025 it should be possible to do something GB color let's say red, and then throw in a number with a hue that you want your red color to be at, right? I don't know. But yeah, so better GB color APIs, por favor, thank you. Then another interesting one is, so maybe if you ever start writing your own plugin, or you see this and you're like, I'm gonna make my own game in IntelliJ now, maybe. You don't have a lot of control of when a write action actually happens in the editor. So whenever you try to write something, or whenever you type or whatever, it goes in a queue, and IntelliJ handles that queue and submits things on the editor, and then you see it, right? And that is to make sure if things happen in the same frame, render frame, it's in the correct order and things like that. But as a game developer within IntelliJ, I would like to know when something is actually on screen, so I can react to it, and show more UI elements, or show explosions or whatever, stuff like that. So maybe a default callback or something like that would be really nice. Now I have to write everything by myself, and I'm lazy. And for the people that have used Unity 3D before, or any game engine, you know what you should have heard of the term delta time. If you're a gamer, you maybe heard this as well. Delta time is basically the time between your current frame and the previous frame, and you use that to make your applications frame rate independent. So if you have 120 frame rate, that means your character moves as fast as if you have 20 frame rate of 20. I do not know what this is. I don't have an API to get it, so I try to calculate it myself, which is not very good. What I forgot to show you, of course, should have, is that all the games are at a crisp 120 frame rate per second, right? I don't know what the problem is with EA and Ubisoft these days. All the games come out at like 30 frames or 60 frames, and here I am making games at 120 frames in IntelliJ. Doesn't look that well for them. More bridges burned here. Yeah. So it would be really nice to know this, then I can actually really nail the timings down and stuff like that. And finally, what's also kind of frustrating right now is if I want to know the color of a letter I'm standing on, There's no direct way to do that. You have to go through the color scheme you're using, and then have to ask the PSI tree, okay, is this a keyword? Is this a class name? Is this a variable name? What is this? And then you have to go to the color scheme, ask, okay, keyword in this color scheme has the color, blah, 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 and then you know the color, which is a little bit of convoluted, so to say. So yeah, those are my feature requests for JetBrains. If you agree, take a picture, send it to them. Be like, hey, I never knew I needed this, but I do now. So yeah, this was all fun and games, right? Get it, fun and games? But I do have one last thing that I would like to share with you. Coding is your superpower. Don't use it wisely. But really, don't. Don't forget that there are not a lot of people out there that can actually code, that can actually open up Notepad++, type something in it, and the computer does something. And don't let yourself be constrained by what people tell you you should do or you should not do, or you should only use, let's say, Spring Boot because everybody does it. Really do things that bring you joy, that bring a smile on your face, that bring a smile on your team's face. Working on these games, I mean, arguably, even though I really wish JetBrains picks this up and makes an actual IntelliJ game engine, would be fun. Take me as the project lead, you know. I had a lot of fun making these and coming to the office every Monday and showing my colleagues, and they were feeding me ideas and they were brainstorming crazy game ideas. And it was really enjoyable experience. And if I can give you anything to take with you today is, if you have a crazy idea that you're like, okay, that's too crazy, who would ever be interested in that? Just do it. Just go for it. And you'll never know where you're going to end up. Maybe you'll end up making Doom in TypeScript types, right? Stuff like that. So yeah, experiment around. Everything, nothing should be off limits. Everything should be, just go for it. And most importantly, I would say try to have fun with coding. We all love computers. We all love what they can do and can't do, and try to push the boundaries of computers. So I'm really curious to see, maybe next year I'll be sitting there and somebody of you will be standing here showing me something cool they made. That would be amazing. That would be something I would really love to see happen. So can IntelliJ be used as a game engine? Who thinks yes? Who thinks, what are you doing? Who thinks it depends? Before we go, I have one last visibility check for everyone here. Anybody that can guess what that could be? Doom. Who really thinks that you can run Doom in IntelliJ? Who thinks no way, Jose? Who thinks it depends? But yeah, of course, I mean, if I can do everything else, I can also run Doom in IntelliJ. Runs pretty well, if I say so myself. There we go. I don't know if this is too bloody for the TOS of the conference, but you know, 80 sprites should be good enough. So yeah, you can run Doom in IntelliJ. So yeah, thank you very much. That is all I had to show you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had as much fun seeing this as I had making this. Before I let you go, I showed this a couple of months ago, and then people, the audience asked me, hey, can you release the games as a plugin so we can download them? Well, turns out that it's a lot of work. Here we are. I did release the exploding code as a plugin. So if you want to download that for IntelliJ of the marketplace, feel free. And then you can really take out the frustration on that pesky method for once and for all. Those are my socials. If you want to send me pictures of you submitting pull requests to your colleagues with a hole where where, where the method was supposed to be, feel free to go. Feel free. It's all good. And if you want, for some reason, to look at the code of the game, you can find them on GitHub, on my GitHub. So all the games are there if you want to look at the code of how I did things with Java Swing and stuff like that. And finally, if you hate it or like the talk, feel free to rate me. I think that should bring you there. And then that's pretty much the only way for me to become better for you. So yeah, thank you very much. I don't think we have time for questions. Time is over, I see here. But I'll be walking around or come over and hit me up if you have any questions or anything like that. Thank you very much.